In today's video, we're going to be expanding our Paleontology Beyond mod by implementing some new awesome basic game features. But before we begin the video, can you hear that? There's something shouting and screaming. It's the like and subscribe button. Please press me. Let's go. And here we are back in our derelict snowy world. And I'm going to get straight into Photoshop for the plan of today's video. Woohoo! I have prepared myself with a little diagram. So the plan of today's video is going to be completely centered around the fossilized remains. We're going to look at how we can get them and what we're going to use them. We're going to go on a timeline all the way from the start all the way to finish. So how are we going to get them? Well, you can see these dots on the bottom. We've got the grey ones, which is fossilized remains, and then we've got amber, which is the orange dots. So we're going to go down the cave and we're going to mine the fossilized remains and mine these, just like in real life. We're going to get them all the way right back up. And now we have fossilized remains. But what are we going to do with them? We're going to put them in this stock image photo of a fossil analyzer that I found. We're going to put them in here and it's going to go, it's churning, bang. We have a dinosaur bone. I mentioned this last episode, but I want to get 6 different bones out of the fossil analyzer, or the fossil dictionary. I'm not sure what the word is going to be for it just yet. But we're going to get the skull, the tailbone, the rib cage, the spine, arms, and legs. And that's really cool. But what are we going to do with them? Well, we are going to use our block that we've already implemented and seen a lot, the paleontologist workbench. We're going to put this inside, but we're going to put it in along with the skull and the tailbone and all those things. And what are we going to get? Well, we are going to get, bang, a full skeleton fossil, just like this. And the idea of this skeleton fossil is it's going to give us a stat very similar to our plushies, if not the same. So let's say we get all the bones of a triceratops, then we're going to get another additional plus 10% more defense. But the Stegosaurus plushie has a sack. It has a plushie sack which it goes in so you can get the passive effects. Is there any item we can put in this fossil? But if you saw the last video, you would have seen that I had a eureka moment. Where are we going to put the fossils? Well, we're going to put them in the Pocket Museum. This is not very pocket-like, but we're going to put them all in there. It's going to be very similar to our plushie sack. So when we open these, all of our plushies are inside. And similarly, this Pocket Museum, you're going to open it and it'll have all of the fossils there replaced with, again, the same stats. But this is going to be quite a big project. And that's because there is a lot of steps involved. Starting off, we need to make it so that fossil ore naturally regenerates. It originally did this in like episode 2, but when I upgraded the mod, it broke. And then we're going to have to make this completely new block with its new texture. And on top of that, we need to be able to right click it so we can actually open up a GUI. So we need to make the GUI, and then it needs to output bones, which, fun fact, they need a texture. I'll probably just make a placeholder texture today, but still, that's a lot of work. And it's not just one bone, we need to make 8 bones for 10 different dinosaurs. But I think I'll probably just do 1 dinosaur today. And finally, once we get all 8 bones, we need to put them into the paleontologist workbench, which we need to make a GUI for. So we need to be able to right click it, but we can't right now. And once we've made the graphical user interface, we then need to program it. And that's the same for the fossil analyzer too. And to add to the work, we need to add the recipe and the custom GUI to just enough items. And finally, we need to make a GUI very similar to the plushie sack that took a week to make, and a placeholder texture so that we can store these. And then we need to add it so the passive stat effects apply to us, similarly to the plushies. So this is going to be a lot of work, so strap in, sit tight, and I'm going to take you through my journey and my process. Let's go! And we're here in IntelliJ to kick us off for step 1, which is going to be custom natural world generation for our fossil ore. We also need to add block states to it because currently if you break it in survival mode, I think nothing works. Let's give it a go. Yep, as you can see, it just doesn't break, and when it does break, it will drop nothing. So let's fix that. And a few minutes later, we have our preserved stone fossil. Hopefully, it would help if we were in survival. Hopefully the wooden pickaxe should not work, but the stone pickaxe should. Ta-da! So I set it so it only requires a stone pickaxe to break. Let's try our silk touch. Okay, so it should work now. With silk touch, we get, perfect, the fossil stone block, whatever it's called, preserved stone fossil. Now, if we mine it with fortune, will that work? We got 4, perfect, that's all working. Now, actually, while I was fixing that, I added something else, which wasn't in the mod pack before, and that is the preserved deep slate fossil. Exactly like the other one, but just with a deep slate texture. So for a quick test, does it work with silk touch? Yep, that works, and with fortune, yes, we got another 4. Time to make it spawn naturally. And a little while later, we can create a new world called ore test. The spawn rates are not final just yet. I made them quite common so we could find them easily. So now let's go down and let's try and find our ores. Oh, I found one. There's the fossil ore there, and we found some deep slate fossil ore, so that spawns as well. Oh, and here's our regular amber ore. We just need to find the deep slate version to see if that works. And yep, there we go, we found it. So I will be tweaking the spawn rates of this, but for now it definitely works and it generates properly. I also took the liberty to order the creative mode menu, and I added in this item here, the fossil framework. But now that that's done, we can move on to actually making the fossil analyzer block thingy. And I think for the placeholder word, we're just going to call it the fossil dictionary for now. And I found this image here, and I'm going to try and speed art create this, just a little template markup of what the block's going to look like. And as a quick placeholder, we have all the sides done now. So we have the front, the left hand side, the back, the right hand side, the bottom, and the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and add this into the game and make the textures work this time. And as we load into Minecraft, this should work. It looks wrong. I think I see the problem. The back is the right and the right is the back, if that makes sense. I think I fixed it now. So this is what we were looking at before. Oh, it's looking good, I think. Boom. Why is it that way? Okay, so if you place it from behind, it won't place it at the front. It always goes in one direction. But I think that's the model works. The bottom's correct. The correct side. Yeah, we have a fossil analyzer, or in this case, fossil dictionary. Pretty cool, huh? It looks like a mini R2-D2. But now we have this block here, we need to make a GUI for the block. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that as a placeholder texture. Here we can see we sort of copied the furnace, but kind of swapped them around. We've got this big input file here to put our fossilized remains. And I somehow just deleted it, and a big output file so we can get 9 bone items if necessary. But now it's time for the actual hard part, which is adding the GUI to the block, which takes ages, so I will liaise with you in a bit. It's been like 4 hours. I'm so drained. I don't know what's gone wrong, but it's doing that for some reason. I can't get the arrow to work, so I'm just gonna let this be the placeholder for now. I put in this temporary block here, which, why can't I hover over stuff? Turns out you can't do that in the GUI, but this is the unidentified bone. So you can put as many of those in there and just wait for it to come out. I can't even shift click this. That just took forever, but at least it worked. So now I can move on to some sort of more fun parts and look forward to the joy of fixing that another time. I think I'm going insane. Next up is going to be adding 8 different dinosaur bones, and then it's on to making yet another GUI, the paleontologist workbench. So let's just try and get on with them. This is a real low point of this mod pack, and possibly my life. If you couldn't tell, we have just made the tailbone, and I think it's the spine. It looks like a foot or a leg. The hand, believe it or not, or the arm I should say. A little sneak peek preview jump scare of the rib cage. That looks like a leaf. And then the goofy skull. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just made the placeholder for the bones. Let's add them to the game. Now, isn't that a sight for sore eyes? Oh yeah. Well, hey, I think we did something. It's generating items. I'm gonna speed this up for a while. Well, hey, it actually did it. And for some reason you can't hover over items and see their texture, but we got them. Oh, I can't shift click. I can throw them out. It's actually working. We got randomized stuff, but that's a guaranteed drop every time. We need to make it so that it drops like bones commonly, or bone meal, or blah blah blah. But we actually got something to work for once. Get in. There are some bugs and we want bones to come out, but that's a good start point. We're not going to completely finalize this today. We're just making the main concept actually possible and working with what we got. So now it's time to move on to yet another GUI. You can hear the excitement in my voice, and I'm sure you'll hear it dwindle away as we add a functional GUI to the paleontologist workbench, to which we're going to be adding this and 2 of those and 1 of those and add 2 of those and whatever. And once we put all of those in, out will come a dinosaur skeleton. Oh yeah. Actually, I think I just realized I made a reverse crafting table with the fossil analyzer. Yeah, look at the big items there with 9 small items with the arrow in the middle. Speed art time. Yeah, this looks good for now. I sort of broke the crafting table up a little bit and added a hammer. I used that from the smithing table, but sort of grayed it out like the arrow in most GUIs. Looks pretty good to me. Let's add it in the game. And we're back in the game, and it didn't actually take that long, but here is our paleontologist workbench. What we can go ahead and do is grab some of our items that we got from our dictionary, specifically all of these items here, and if we open up our paleontologist workbench, bang! Oh yeah! So the GUI has been created. It is a little bit cut off, but we can fix that in the future. We're here just to make it work base, but if we put our skull in the top right, our spine, our rib cage, we put in 2 arms and our 2 legs, a fossil framework, which I don't think I've spoken about yet, and finally our Ankylosaurus tailbone, we get the Ankylosaurus skeleton, which I made a little goofy texture for just now. I basically just grayed out the plushy texture. Spot the difference. So what you might be asking me right now is, will this recipe work in just a regular crafting table? Well, let's have a go. Oh no, it doesn't work. Whatever are we going to do? Well, never to fear, we can put it in this GUI, and specifically this GUI, and we can make the Ankylosaurus skeleton. Step 4, maybe 5, can't remember, complete. Time to implement the final thing, the Pocket Museum, which is pretty much the plushie sack duplicated, so this shouldn't take very long. Oh yeah. Let's do this. So I've done a quick mock-up for the Pocket Museum. I've literally got the British Museum and I've turned it into a sort of small version. I really like how it looks, but again, it's going to be changed in the future. So let's make it work. And one day later, I've done a little bit of grinding off camera. I've made a temporary placeholder texture for all skeletons. So here they are. It's pretty much just their plushy version, but I added it so that it looks like bones, I guess. Here's the Spinosaurus, the Brachiosaurus, the Velociraptor, the Triceratops, the T-Rex, the Stegosaurus, the Parasaurolophus, the Gallimimus, and the Dilophosaurus. We've already seen the Ankylosaurus, but they are all in the game now, so let's have a look at them. Here we go. What's pretty cool is we actually have to scroll down now to see our items. We've made so many, but here they all are in their glory. And for those observant ones, you would have noticed the Pocket Museum is also added to the game, and actually, it works. But there's our texture. I think the texture is really cool, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm probably gonna keep this, or keep the idea of this very similar. But here we have a full plushie sack, and if we open it, this is the GUI we're used to, and I've pretty much one-to-one copied this. But, bang. The Pocket Museum. It's all the same textures, but the name has changed and each of the items have changed here. But can we put them in the GUI? Let's have a go. Shift click doesn't work. Oh, but we can put them in normally. That's good. Does it update down here? It does. We get our speed and regeneration stats, and it does keep going on. Let's see if it changes rarity at the end. Oh, that's weird. We can shift click the Ankylosaurus one, but no others. Oh well, for the final reveal, we'll shift click the Ankylosaurus skeleton in, and boom! Oh, the particles stayed as well. The rarity has been upgraded. Let's say if we take out the Ankylosaurus, it's still epic, but when we put it back in, it becomes legendary, which is useless because we're going to remove it, but it's still cool for now. However, I'm pretty sure if we do go into survival mode, we only have 1 heart, despite having 2 Brachiosaurus things. What is the group for a plushie and a skeleton? Innards? I don't know. It doesn't stack as of right now. We should in theory have 2 hearts, but we don't. But I think that's an issue that I'm going to have to solve another time, because I am so drained from making these items. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick recap of what we've made in today's episode. Oh, what a lovely day to start a new Minecraft world. Well, hey, we're in a cave doing some mining, and we found some preserved fossils, or fossilized remains, and some amber. Sweet. But we don't need that right now. Well, let's just go ahead and put that in our fossil dictionary. Whoa, what's this awesome red box doing? No way. We got a... I absolutely love it when we get We got from analysing it. Oh, and there's a ribcage. Oh no, a duplicate ribcage. What are we going to do? Also, my friend pointed out that this looks exactly like a dishwasher. Yay, finally after 15 million ribcages, we have enough pieces to make a skeleton. But first, let me craft some fossil framework. And let's get our paleontologist workbench. And let's put the framework in the middle, surrounded by 2 arms, 2 legs, a tailbone, a spine, a ribcage, and a skull. Oh, and would you look at it? We got one awesome recipe. We used 9 to make 1. But hey, we finally just made an Ankylosaurus skeleton. Let's go. But what are we going to do with it? We're going to put it in our Pocket Museum, just like this, and we get plus 10% knockback resistance. And that is the journey of how you can start with nothing and end up with awesome additional stats with our dinosaur mod. We did that all in 1 episode, pretty much 1 day. I'm really happy with how that's happened. Let's roll to the outro. I'm really happy with all that we've done today. It's another thing I can just tick off of my list. There's a lot of bug fixes to do, but I'm going to have to bug fix those in my own time, and also I don't really think you guys want videos about that. This mod is not supposed to be released today or tomorrow, and I'm allowed to have some time to polish and clean the mod. I just wanted to show you its main idea and its base use. You get the idea! Yes, you, viewer, I'm talking to you. But let's go back to our beautiful snowy world, and let's do a little showcase for the items. Ah, isn't it fitting? We made the Pocket Museum all based around a museum, and now we are walking around the museum of the Pocket Museum, if that makes sense. But hey, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute belter of a Paleontology Beyond video. I really appreciate every single last one of you that watches these videos and comments your ideas. That being said, if you have any ideas for this mod pack, make sure to comment them down below. If they're good, you know I've got to add them. I'm having a lot of fun with this series right now, so I might keep on uploading, but yes, to those asking, Toxi's Dino mod pack will return. I'm just enjoying this too much, but I will find the time. I'm thinking of making a Discord server at some point, so if you think that's a good idea, also comment that down below. But as always, I've been Toxki. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is. And from the bottom of this heart, bye!